Let me make sure. Um,
I'm like, can I have you in all my lives?
right? I will probably be in all your lives.
Do you want to hop in today's at 4?
Yes, I do. All right, we're going live.
Mhm.
Perfect. Awesome. All righty, we're done. Ready.
You let me know when it's live.
Oh, it's live. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's live. Just FYI.
Oops. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. Those of you joining us today, in case you don't know who we are on your screen, my name is Angelica. I am also dubbed the SUMA Maestra over here at SUMA, and we have Daisy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Daisy. I'm one of the social media girls and contributors here at SUMA. So I'm really happy to be chatting along with Angelica today and talk to you more about what's coming next.
Also, don't forget, you have a very special role here. You're also dubbed what?
The tech queen. I am the tech queen. So I basically help with all of the things in the background, the technical programming of things. And I really just help these lives go smooth when we co-stream.
Yes, because again, like your good maestra over here, sometimes we're not super tech savvy, so we need our IT, and
Exactly.
definitely grateful for Daisy. So here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is not the official Jefa Power Hour. However, we will be engaging in a Jefa Platica just to give you a small little preview of what is coming up for Jefa Power Hour number 4 at SUMA. But before we get into all of that, I think my presentation is slightly buffing, but I will continue. Let me know, Daisy. Do you see it
Yeah.
okay?
It looks good on this end.
Okay, great. Entonces, yeah, before we get started, per usual, I do want to give a huge shout out to Ashley Kay. Ashley Kay is the author of Jefa in Training. Her book is what inspired the entire SUMA Jefa Business Bootcamp 2024. So, per usual, we want to give our huge thank you and appreciation to Ashley. Another thing I do want to remind everyone watching and to my new Jefas, if you're joining in, and you haven't heard of the SUMA Jefa Business Bootcamp, the bootcamp was created to make Business 101, Business Essentials, really fun, informative, help jefas grow their business and learn more about what it means to be an an entrepreneur, pero in a more accessible way, right? Again, really fun, really engaging, relevant. The course is composed of 12 videos. They're relatively short, anywhere between 3 to 6 minutes. The course also has worksheets that you can download and either work on your computer or print them. And most importantly, the course has 12 quizzes, one quiz at the end of every module. Here at SUMA, we really, really, really want to encourage you to finish every single quiz because, Daisy, do you know what comes at the end of the boot camp and at the end of the 12 of 12 quizzes?
I do actually. It's our how do you call it? Our graduation. Our graduation will come. Dun, 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 dun,
Yes, and we haven't announced it yet, but do we have a cool keynote speaker?
dun. Oh, but we do have a keynote speaker, actually. Yes, we do.
Yeah, so we have an amazing Jefa lined up. She will be our keynote speaker. We're super duper excited. We will be making this announcement next week, but just keep in mind that once we announce our Jefa, or if you're even curious about that graduation session, definitely make sure that you finish your 12 of 12 quizzes. Because in addition to allowing you to join the graduation with our Jefa keynote speaker, you will also be receiving a Jefa Business Bootcamp certification, and this is in collaboration with ASU. So again, once you have this beautiful certification in collaboration with ASU, you can put it on your LinkedIn, show it off on your social channels, tell your friends about it. So super duper cool. Again, the Jefa Business Bootcamp here at SUMA, such a gem. A lot of golden nuggets and pieces here. So we're excited.
Yes. Yeah, and even then, that takes us right into the topic that we're going to be talking in today, which is going to be, the resources and certifications and the business resources that you can definitely take advantage of with, our platforms and all of the platforms that are out there. And I think, our certification for Jefa Business Bootcamp is going to be amazing and perfect for you to add to your LinkedIn and use in your network. So definitely super excited about that.
Yay! So, with that said, ahora sí, let's get into today's Jefa Plática. Again, the plática is between Daisy and myself. So, we will be discussing more about the power and importance of resources and opportunities, specifically through the lens of certifications, grants, and mentorship. Uh,
Yes. And shout out to Fierce as well for even allowing us to also host this Platica and Power Hour number 4 in their platforms.
Yes, that's right. So, all Fierce Jefas tuning in, hello, we're happy to be here with you as well. So, let's go ahead and get started. Source number 1, certifications. Super duper cool topic. We will be discussing it more in today's Jefa Power Hour number 4. But before giving away too much to folks tuning in right now, porque again, we do want to invite you to Jefa Power Hour number 4 happening across your favorite social platform. At what time, Daisy? At what time is our power hour?
4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes. Okay. Entonces, como les digo, without giving away too much for later session, I do want to briefly talk about certifications, right? So, when we think about certifications, there are different kinds. Specifically for our audience tuning in today, we want to focus on women certifications and minority owned certifications. During Jefa Power Hour number 4, we are going to tell you more about what these are and why they're important. However, one thing I do want to highlight here is that by getting a certification, and oftentimes if you do identify as a mujer, right, so as a woman and a minority, you can also get multiple ones. So once you get these certifications, think of them as that extra validation or stamp of approval for your business. Certifications are super duper important and they can help take your small business to the next level, specifically if you want to do a business or work with larger corporate America, right? It kind of acts like that seal of validation.
Yeah, if you think about it, just like many of us, when we seek services from other professionals or even, services in the beauty industry or a doctor or anywhere, we always look and seek for people that are trusted and we trust people who have certifications.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. It's like you wouldn't necessarily go to a doctor to get surgery if they're not certified.
No. I hope not. And I hope none of you do either.
I would not. Also, when I was a maestra, it wasn't just getting my master's in teaching, right? It was also getting my certification as an English teacher for secondary teaching. So, again, a lot of professionals, even in the real world, right, outside of business, those certifications add as that extra vetting and shows people that you're prepared, that you're knowledgeable, that you really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, we're so excited to talk more about certifications
Yeah.
during Power Hour 4 today with our very special guest. And again, Daisy, just for the thrills, ¿a qué horas va a ser?
It's going to be today at 4 p.m. Pacific time and 7 p.m. Eastern time. Para que
Yes.
no se les olvide. Mark your calendars.
Exactly. So, with all of that said, excited to see you all there. We'll be guiding that plática. So, super duper excited to extend that invite to all of you Fierce Jefas today. But now, Daisy, tell me, what do you think is another resource besides certifications that is worth sharing with our Jefas tuning in today?
Yes, let me think about it. Oh, yeah, there we go. Grants. Grants is something that is a fantastic way to fund your business and your educational goals for all of you Hefas. And even finding ways to apply them and find them can be a little overwhelming. So this platica and the power hour number 4 is really going to help us dive into all things grants. And kind of highlight why it's important to do your research and network with other Latinas who have been successful in obtaining grants. Grants can provide I mean, these resources can provide a lot of valuable insights and support. And even within our own Jefa Angelica, have you had experience with grants?
Yeah, I have. So I briefly, shared this little story with you, pero I want to share it with our audience today too. Um, I have two stories to share, right? So first, I'll start with my college one. So for those of you that don't know, I actually started in City College. I was born and raised in LA, but for City College, I took off to Santa Barbara City College. Shout out to anyone here who might be from Santa Barbara or LA. Pero entonces, I was a working class, first gen college student. My parents never once helped me at all in funding my education. Most of my funding came from FAFSA or work. So, I believe it was during my second year of City College, right before transferring to UCLA, I was in the Marqueta, right? My funds were already very low, close to zero. And I remember I just kept swiping my card, right? And wishing that by the grace of life and the universe, that I don't know, que no me dijeran, you're going to get declined. But again, right, I knew my funds were close to zero. And I was like, I'm going to keep swiping because I need food, I need my necessities. And my card never got rejected. And at first I was really shocked, but I was happy, right? I was like, okay, cool. And again, I remember buying my limones and being really scared during that time. I kid you not. And I love limones, right? So I was like, I swear, I was like, this is it, right? This is the time they're going to tell me you have no more funds. And my card kept like getting approved. Entonces, that upcoming week, right, I go to school, engage in my classes, and it turns out that I ended up winning a grant through Santa Barbara City's English department. I think it was like $1,000, and that was the money that was in my card. Again, without me even knowing, because I didn't even want to check my balance, right? I just knew I was close to zero, and it was my English professor who told me, you won a grant. We're so proud of you. But yeah, that's an experience that I will never forget. And I think the key here, why I want to highlight the story with our jefas tuning in today, is because I remember just one, how scared I was initially, right, to not have anything, but also once I knew I got that grant, just how safe and happy I felt, like that security that it provided. And I think that's why grants are so important, right? Because for many of us, whether we're in school, in businesses, so on and so forth, they provide that extra support and help that oftentimes we might need.
Yeah, this story that you gave us, like, it really inspired me. And you're right. I mean, and even, I mean, I know during college, a lot of us, we can't have the financial support of our parents. So, grants, scholarships, financial aid really, really help it for
Mhm.
us to make it possible to even graduate. But I didn't even know that there was grants available for once you graduate things within your own profession. I mean,
Mhm.
this is one of those things that it opened up like a
Mhm.
whole world for me, and I didn't even realize, even within courses in themselves, whenever I was applying for for SUMA and for all everything in digital marketing industries, I had actually done a digital marketing certification that helped me, but one that I had started and I received like financial aid from was Coursera. Like, I didn't realize Coursera has availability to give us grants, to give us kind of like discounts on those courses.
Yeah.
But even then, I feel like there's a world of more grants and more free money that people want to contribute and give away for jefas like all of us.
Yeah. And actually, so that takes me to my second story, right? Professionally speaking. So when I was a maestra in my 20s, because of my experience that I had in City College, right, and winning these grants, I figured I'm an English major. I can write. I know the money's out there. So throughout my 7 years as a high school English teacher, I actually ended up winning close to $20,000 in grants for my students, but it also included professional development. I traveled to Connecticut for 3 weeks, all of multiple books. I got my students like a whole libreria. I got them
Oh
like a
my
little
gosh.
sofa. I even, one of my grants included a whole field trip to the movies with Panera popcorn and soda. So to your point, yeah, like the money's out there. Grant opportunities are endless. And specifically talking about jefas who want to engage in business grants, the money is out there too. One term that I've learned, and I'm still learning, right? But there's a term called non-dilutive funding. So some
Mm.
programs will offer that to jefas. And if you get non-dilutive funding, that basically means that you get all of that money without having to give away any shares of your company or anything in return.
Oh,
Basically, that grant money is all 100% for you without any really strings attached. You get to use that money however it is that you feel is important for your business. So that's,
wow.
you know,
That's amazing. I am so inspired by you, Angelica. This is such an amazing story, and I am so excited to learn more about how to apply to these certifications. And I do have a question, like just a tiny question. I know we're going to be discussing this more in HIPAA Power Hour, but how were you able to, use those funds or distribute those funds? Like, do they kind of like, do they have like a cap on how much you can use for what, or how does that work?
No, that's a great question. So, in terms of how to use the money, typically from almost 95% of my experience writing grants, when you apply for those grants, you are asked to do some type of budget, some type of proposal. You itemize everything with every single dollar, including the taxes and shipping, right? So, in terms of like, how do you decide how that money is going to get used? That's included typically in the proposal that you submit to people. So if you do get awarded that money, whatever dollar amount that is, because of your proposal, you already know how you're going to be spending your money.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's really informative. I love this talk with you today. You've definitely inspired me and probably a lot of these, jefas out here. So super excited. And yeah, like I said, think this is a really important conversation for all of us to have because grants are out there. Clearly, money is out there. And the key is trying to find ways to get it.
And one last thing I do want to say in this regard, right, is don't be afraid to go for it. I know, again, I was an English teacher, and something I heard often, even through my students, was, well, I'm not a good writer, right? It's like, yo no sé escribir. And it's like, it doesn't matter, right? It's like, just do it. Kind of going back to a conversation we were having earlier, you know
Yes.
what? Do it with your voice shaking, do it with your, manita trembling as you're writing this thing. Do it even if you think if it's not perfect, but just do it. And trust me, the more practice you have, the better you will get at it, because everything in life, right? Like even our brains, they're like a muscle, right? The more we practice things, the better we get at things. So yeah, that would be my advice to all of the jefas tuning in today. If you feel like, oh, but I'm not a writer, or like I don't know how to write, just do it, ¿verdad? Empieza en un lugar. And then even if you don't get grants, right? Let's say, okay, you don't get approved, that's still a starting point, because then you know what to modify, you know what to fix, you know how to change things. So I always want to leave people with that. Even if you don't see yourselves as writers, just go for it, right? No tienes nada que perder.
Yeah, I would think too, like this could be like a numbers game. It's like how many are you even applying for, right? Like have a list of probably 100 to apply for. Apply
Mhm.
to all of them. If you don't get a single one, apply again next year, right? Like I'm sure that some of these, like a lot of these grants recycle every single year.
Exactly. No, y luego the cool thing is that, for some of these grants, you might be able to even recycle the written content, right? Like some of them are similar questions. So you already get what you have and you just slightly modify it. So it kind of becomes like you create a little system for yourself, right? Where like, yeah, once you figure it out, right? Or like maybe let's say you do get awarded a grant, do whatever you did in that grant and now apply those skills to the next one, right? And then you'll see things grow. So
Wow.
yeah, money, writing, grants. Woo!
I love this.
No,
Wow.
I do
Okay.
too. I'm a huge fan for free money, especially through writing. Again, I don't know if it's because I'm an English major, but as a, first gen Mexican American, for me, I always found power in writing. And, to connect the two, the power in writing with the power of money, like that's been gold.
Absolutely. No, you have a big point in that. I think that in itself brings a lot of power in you. It empowers you, a lot of confidence, and also it just really makes you stand out as a very good jefa in this world. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Pero con eso dicho, because I know we're running out of time here and our jefas are also really busy and we want to respect all of our jefas' time, let's dive into maybe one last resource that we can share with
Okay.
everyone tuning in today. And Daisy, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the topic of mentorship. I
Ooh,
believe
I love that.
¿Verdad que sí? I love it too. And I think if I remember correctly, in Power Hour number 3 for our check-in question, one of our jefas said that I think the question was, if I can wave a magic wand, like what resource would you need right now to help you? And one of our jefas said mentorship,
Yeah.
right? Mentorship was number 1. So my question to you is, Daisy, um, why do you think that mentorship is important? Let's start with
Ooh, yes, mentorship is so important for many things. One, it opens doors that you didn't even know existed. With mentorship, you have a guidance as the do's and don'ts of the industry you want to go in. Mentorship also encourages you to develop professionally and personally because mentors can see the gaps and the potential that you have that you sometimes don't even recognize. It's super important to have almost like a nada madrina, you're right, like a guiding angel, like a guardian angel
Mhm.
paving the way with where you want to go. And also, if you want to think about it in another point of view, mentors want to help you because mentors want to pass down information. They don't want it to go to waste. Mentors have, a lot of these women who become your mentors have already done so many things in their lives and gone so many routes that they're like, I wish somebody, I want to instill this knowledge into someone.
Mhm.
And so it is super important to have a mentor because you can also feel safe, you can feel heard, you can feel valued with all of the doubts and the questions that you have within your pathway, whether it's
Mhm.
entrepreneurship, corporate, your career, college.
Mhm.
Super, super important. I think those are some of the favorite reasons why I think mentors are just amazing.
Yeah, no, 100%. And ditto, right? Like, I think throughout my life path, I am now 31, but throughout my entire life, but specifically in my 20s and as I navigated college, I think of all those hada madrinas, right? Like those mentors that I had that really propelled me forward and that gave me access even to opportunities that I never knew existed. So my question or next question for you, Daisy, would be, what are some ways, or like en donde, like where can people find mentorship?
Oh yeah, I mean, you can find them practically in many spaces. First and foremost, if you're already post college and you're well in your way into an industry, find and join professional organizations where you can attend industry events or you can join and be close in proximity to people that are within your industry. For example, Latinas in Tech. There's even some for finance, like women in finance, women in the medical field. There's some for women in law. There's women in marketing. There's Latinas in marketing. So many business women. And even look and try to find some within your own city. I know for me, whenever I was, first starting out, I found out about this Houston business community that existed. And I was like, wow, like I want to join it eventually, and be a part of it. And so you can find them within professional organizations. You can also even reach out to people that you admire within your industry. Let's say LinkedIn. A lot of us have, we follow and we connect with people on LinkedIn all the time, and we may see their posts recurring over and over, and we may be inspired by what they have to say. So don't be afraid to one day reach out to them, send them a message, and be like, hey, I love what you said here about this post. I'm super, I would love to connect. I would love to see what other events, you have where I could join and ask them. Be very open. A lot of these people, they get so excited when you get to message them because they're like, wow, like I'm making a difference. Also, if you are taking community college classes or you decide to take a class to extend your professionalism, let's say you are in tech and you're like, okay, I'm going to take one cybersecurity class this summer, right? Or this next semester. Take those classes seriously and view them as opportunities to engage with people. You may find your mentor there. It could be that professor, or it could be the person sitting next to you in class. It could be anybody within that space that has something that you don't know about, or has that, ability to mentor.
Mhm.
Again, other places that you can even do it is your corporate spaces. I know a lot of people within corporate spaces wouldn't doesn't always have to be your department, but if you are inspired by someone that just walks by with that confidence, somebody that just makes change and makes something in your career that you're like, wow, I'm inspired, go up to them. Like, be open to starting a conversation or starting a coffee chat with them, because more than likely that could be, another mentor for you. And vet out the same way that you vet out people in real life to become your friends. Vet out your mentors, vet them out slowly. It doesn't have to be a relationship that's very quick and easy to build, because then that may come off as, like you're just like you're trying to probably do something too fast. Like, it may not be as natural. But slowly try to trust people. Slowly start understanding who these people are, and likewise they'll slowly start to trust you, and then a mentorship relationship can definitely build out of that.
Mhm. I love that. I really, really do. Because even in my own life, again, now that, I've entered my new decade of my 30s, I really am trying to think of mentorship in a more intentional way. And one thing that has stood out to me now is the importance of nurturing that relationship and also feeding back into it, right? It's not just like, what can I take from my mentor, but also what can I give to my mentor as well, right?
Right.
How can we support each other in a way? I don't like the word mutually beneficial, but in a way that feels like we're both growing together or
Yeah.
we're growing in similar ways, right? And with that said, I also want to add another point of like mentorship that is related to today's HEFA Power Hour number 4, minority certifications. So actually, one of the cool perks and a super cool opportunity when you get minority certified is you also get a chance to grow your professional network. And in growing that professional network with your certification, you're also opening up the doors for possible mentors and opportunities, right? So, kind of wrapping things up here, because again, I know we're close to our time here,
Yeah.
Daisy, but yeah, just want to go ahead and once again remind all of our jefas tuning in today that SUMA's Jefa Business Bootcamp will be having our Jefa Power Hour number 4 at what time, Daisy?
It's going to be 4 p.m. PST Pacific time and 7 p.m. Eastern time. And if you're in Central like me, a Texas girly, 6 p.m. Central time. So
There you go. Entonces, yeah, we definitely want to invite all of our, jefas tuning in today. Please definitely show up. Jefa Power Hour number 4. Come learn more about certification. Also inviting all Fierce jefas, right? We will be broadcasting jointly with Fierce. Thank you, Fierce, for allowing us to do that. And one last thing we want to leave all of you with today is this Jefa Power Move, which is basically find those resources and leverage them, right? Opportunities are out there. Just like Daisy and I talked about today, there's ample opportunities, whether it's certifications, grants, mentorship. Sometimes they will kind of like interrelate, right? Again, if you get a certification, you open up the doors to mentorship, networking opportunities, so on and so forth. So don't be afraid, I think, is number 1. Or I'm a big advocate of like, be afraid, feel your feelings, pero sigue dándole, right?
do it afraid. Yep.
Exactly. Let your voice shake, your knees wobble, but like go. And I swear that's me all the time, right? I'm always wobbling, wobbling, but I do it, right? Y digo, what do I have to lose? Like, what do
Yeah.
we have to lose? So,
Yeah.
Daisy, is there any final like note or takeaway that you want to leave all of our jefas with today?
I think that was the best takeaway. Honestly, all of these resources and all of this information is for you to professionally develop, to become a better version of yourself, and overall to really, take advantage of all the resources. There is not one perfect fit, like, for everyone. Like, there's going to be something that is just for you, and one of these grants is going to be yours. One of these mentors is going to be yours. Like, one of these opportunities is meant for you specifically. So definitely take advantage of it, and I'm excited. Yeah.
Yay! So, with all of that said, gracias, Daisy, per usual. A beautiful joining and conversation with you. Gracias a todas, everyone tuning in, all of our fierce jefas, our SUMA jefas. anyone who's just here and checked out our Fierce Jefa Platica. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Fierce, for again allowing us to also be here with you. We will see everyone in SUMA's Jefa Power Hour number 4. Muchas gracias. We will see you later.